Hello, Emma. Good evening over there. Good barely afternoon over here.
Good afternoon or good, what is it, lunchtime?
It's 12:09
No,
just afternoon. So Eric, hi,
it's
I love you. I love you,
7
Eric.
p.m. Oh, he's saying, I love you too, Mamacita.
Okay,
He's
so
very, I don't know what's wrong with him, but it's almost like he's wibbly. I don't know if he did that when he was alive, but I don't know. It's like his body is kind of clingy.
Really?
I don't know what's going on.
Maybe he's trying to do the shoulder shimmy. If he takes after me, he cannot do it. I have tried so hard, but there's no way. You know?
No, it's probably just the way that his body is it just looks like his energy is like wavy, and I think it's just, I don't know. It's just the way that he's projecting himself.
All right. Okay, so guys, first off, I want you to know that the grandbaby Easton was supposed to stay up until like 11:30 and sleep through this entire session, but it's not going to happen because he got up so early and he already had his nappies up. So fingers crossed. Hopefully Michelle will keep him out of here. And also I want you to know that I am feeling kind of crappy because that LDN wonderful stuff that I take is curing my Hashimoto's thyroiditis. So now, because I'm taking thyroid medicine, I become hyperthyroid. I've got to stop it because it looks like it's curing my Hashimoto's. So my heart rate is right now 149.
Oh, Lord.
And I feel like a wet noodle. So anyway, if you have Hashimoto's, you need to look into it. If you do start taking it, you need to monitor your thyroid. So it works for autoimmune disease, for one. All right, we are going to talk about, we got three things: dreams, chemicals in food and personal care products, and we're going to interview Howard Hughes. What do you want to start out with, Emma? Or Eric?
I'll ask Eric what he wants to talk about first. Oh, he's going, let's start with dreams.
Dreams, because that's the first on my page anyway. All right, these are all from blog members, and I'll throw in my own questions if I have any in this brain of mine, which is not really working too well today. All right, but I'm going to try to soldier on. What are some of the typical dream meanings, and why do sometimes we not dream at all? Is that true? Is there ever a time when we don't dream?
He says, no, we always dream. However, some people have a harder time remembering their dreams because they really go into a more deeper state of consciousness when they get into that dream state. Now, when it comes to common dreams
let me share some of mine, because there are probably a lot of people share the same thing. Going to school naked. What does that mean?
Going to school naked means that you feel very insecure about yourself. You feel very, very vulnerable. Let me explain that a little bit. The way our dreams project themselves to us is really a combination of the higher self that is working together with your fears, your anxieties, with what's going on in your life, your dreams, your passions. And so what we're getting is, in a dream state, we're getting messages through from your higher self. We're getting signals through to guide you, to push you. But unfortunately, those will always be mixed and mingled with what the conscious mind is working on. So you have the conscious mind that's collaborating with the subconscious mind, and so that's how you create all these weird dreams that don't always seem to make sense. But if I can give an advice, he says, it is when you first wake up. It is the initial feeling that you get of the dream that is important.
Oh.
If you can access just the feeling of how it made you feel, and if you then have the ability to recollect what your dream was about and attach that feeling to that dream, then you'll be able to figure out what it was all about. However, even if you don't recollect, if you just have the feeling, then that might help you in understanding what you need to work on. what is not good with you.
Okay,
Does
so
that
what
make sense?
what is the main reason we dream? I thought maybe it was just a teleologically so that we could just entertain ourselves and remain asleep for a significant number of hours to restore our body.
Well, he's saying, well, first of all, let's go to step one. He says, why do we sleep?
Yeah.
Let's start with
I
that question.
love sleeping. I could sleep all day if it wouldn't shame me. Love it.
Well, he's saying it's actually very simple. We sleep. Let's just say sleeping it's part of the recuperation process of our body, right? Of the physical body. And so while we're sleeping, subtle light energy that our body needs to be in a good state, to feel good, to be healthy, right? While we're sleeping, he says that subtle light energy basically gets increased. It's how hold that, go slow.
Poor Emma, Erik, have a heart, have mercy.
He's like he's going all over the place. Okay. Okay, so when we're sleeping, he's just showing me pictures and he's combining it with thoughts. While we're sleeping, the body is absorbing subtle light energy in greater amount. There's a greater access to it because we're not being limited by our emotional and by our mental state.
Right.
Okay. So basically, when we're sleeping, this what people would call the soul, he says, or your energy body releases from the physical body. And so there's no thoughts, there's no fears, there's no anxieties that are causing these blockades for the subtle light energy to be totally absorbed by every cell in your body.
Okay.
So while we're sleeping, our body has a better chance to rejuvenate itself, to restore itself, and to really heal as well. We all know that our body has a self-healing power, but the only way we can do that is by introducing more energy into the cells to give basically your cells, the power, the food that it needs to recreate the body, to recreate cells, to make new cells and break down the old ones.
Okay, Erik,
and to get rid of
stop. Just 1 minute. All right, I want you to know that I've got these questions, right? These questions. And,
Lord Almighty.
And these questions. So I want you to give us a briefer version of everything.
Okay.
If you can. Sorry, Erik. I hate to hobble you. All right. So, and the reason we dream.
So the reason we dream.
Short version.
Very short version is to basically make us more consciously aware of what we're going through in our lives.
Okay.
Is that short enough for you?
Do we upload information from our guides and our higher self during dreams?
Well, when we're dreaming, we're accessing the subconscious mind, which is where all the information is stored, including where we came from, who we are spiritually, who our higher selves are. So when we're dreaming, we're accessing that.
Well, what is the subconscious mind? I thought that was kind of like the higher self.
The subconscious mind, okay, so you have the conscious mind, which is where we do all our thinking, where we do all our processing, and the subconscious mind is almost like a storage unit.
Oh, okay.
Where we keep all our memories, where we keep all our pasts, all our lives, all our truths, and where the truth about our true being is stored. Okay. It is not really the higher self. However, when your higher self connects to you, it will always be through the subconscious mind, through the feelings, through the emotions, through the gut instinct, because the conscious mind is always too busy and will not be able to receive that kind of information.
All right, well, let's go into some very short meanings of some of these dreams. So we talked about going naked to school. Sometimes I will have to go, I realized, oh my God, I didn't take chemistry. And so now, even though I went to medical school, I don't have an MD because I didn't really graduate from Rice University. So, and I had to go back to class, and I'm 62 years old amongst all these kids, and sometimes I forget to go to class. And okay, so what's that about when you have to go back to school?
Basically, and that can come in any shape or form, that dream. But he says it is about that you're not in the right place when it comes to what you're doing. You're
Oh.
not doing what you love. You're not going in the right direction. So these are just indications that, hey, you need to make some changes. You need to start over in your direction. That could be career, but that could also be relationships.
Sure.
It's not because it is school related, the dream, that it means education, that it means work, but it could also mean that, you know, the relationship that you're currently in is not good for you, and that you might need to consider going into a new direction. So that is all about
it could be a relationship with a friend or a child or whatever. All right, what about running and not being able to get away? Like I always had this dream of this disembodied leg, green leg, that's running after me, and I can't move fast enough. I feel like I'm in the La Brea tar pits.
What that is a fear of failure.
Okay.
It can be a combination of two
mess. I'm a freaking mess. No, I'm kidding.
It could be a combination of several things. But a lot of times it's about the fear of failure, or feeling that it's almost like a low self-worth, a lack of self-esteem. If you combine that, you know, the running is really about, you're trying to run from yourself. You're trying to hide from who you really are.
What about, I also had this dream, and everybody has these dreams of falling, but I used to have this dream anyway. We're going in a car up this causeway, and we're going steeper and steeper and steeper, and I'm so scared because it seems like it's going to, boom, flip over, and the whole car's going to flip over. Fear of success, maybe?
He's going yes and no. It's more about the fear of not being worthy to another person.
Okay, what about when we have falling dreams? We never really hit the bottom. Why is that?
Well, you have different kinds of falling dreams. You have a dream where you really fall for a while, and then you have those few seconds where you feel like you fall and you wake up.
Oh yeah, that's actually the reticular activating system shutting down or turning on. I can't remember. That's neurological.
Well, what that really is, Mom.
Hard landing. Oh, it's really getting back hard landing, getting back into your body.
Yeah, that is, you're basically in that state of releasing the body, but if something spooks you, or a thought is being reintroduced into your mind, and you basically get slammed back into the body too fast, and that feeling of whoop. Now, when it comes to really, really falling, a lot of times that has to do with the fear of not being in control of your life, that other people are controlling you, and nobody's there to help you.
Well, why do we never hit the pavement?
Huh?
Why don't we ever hit the pavement?
Why don't we ever hit the pavement? Because otherwise, Mom, you'd be dead.
Yeah, really. I guess there's no reason to, okay?
There's really no reason why. The reason you keep falling is because, you know, there's no solution in your mind for it.
Oh, okay. All right. I also had this weird dream. I don't spank my kids. Well, I have every once in a while, it's not very much. But sometimes I have this dream, or I used to, where I'm trying to spank a kid, but I can't. My hand it just stops. I
can't. That's really about your the intention is there, but you can't fulfill it. That's what it's about. In your being, who you are, Mom, and everybody, we all are connected to that source of unconditional love. And hitting a person and smacking a person will never be a part of who you really are. So when you're seeing it in your dreams, it is really about they're showing you this is not who you are.
Okay.
You know, you're doing something that is not you.
All right. Also, sometimes I have really stupid menial dreams, like unloading the dishwasher, or I'll have weird ones, like I'm in this meditation class and the teacher tells us to lick our partner's shoulder, and I lick the partner's shoulders,
Oh my
and
God.
all of a sudden, my tongue is like this little person with a coat on. So, I mean, some of us has just really weird, freaky dreams. Or sometimes I dream that I have this horrible secret, that I have a whole bunch of bodies buried in my front yard that I've killed. And I'm so afraid somebody's going to uncover it. Ugh. Anyway, so sometimes I'm waking up and say, wait, did I
You
really
have
do
the
that?
weirdest dreams.
My husband says I do. So why do people have menial or really strange dreams?
Well, I just want to emphasize, he says, that not every dream has meaning. Sometimes dreams are just expressions of frustration.
Okay.
Sometimes they're just expressions of
Fear.
anxiety and fear.
Yeah.
There's
Okay.
not always a specific meaning to it. But if the dream is really intense, if it is when you wake up and you're still feeling it, there's a clear message there. You really need to dig into that.
Okay.
If it's just waking up and going, what?
That was
A
weird.
lot of times it is
Yeah.
just your mind who is expressing what's been going on with yourself.
All right, here's another one. And we'll go through these briefly because we only covered this little one right there. See? That
Oh
little
my
one.
God.
Okay, we'll go fast. When I go lucid, I've been struggling between staying lucid and going back into a regular dream. What techniques while lucid should I use to stay grounded in the lucidity? So she wants to stay, or he wants to stay in the lucid dream.
In the lucid dream. Well, for people who don't know what a lucid dream
Good
is, it's
idea.
basically a dream where you are awake, or where your awareness is awake. So a lot of people can control their dreams. That is a lucid dream. When you are awake in the dream and you are experiencing it fully and you can make the decisions yourself, then you're in a lucid dream. But it's very hard to stay in a lucid dream. Why? Because the slightest participation of the conscious mind will get you right out of it.
Yeah. So what can we do to just practice? Is that all it takes?
It is practice. It is practice, and it is allowing yourself to surrender in the dream as well. Because as soon as we try to control it too much, now you could say, okay, I want to go this place, I want to see this place, because you can roam around and go visit your deceased loved ones, or you can say, I want to see Paris right now.
That's another question from this person. I've been able to bring past relatives or loved ones into my consciousness to reconnect with them and have had beautiful emotional reunions. But sometimes I try to bring other people, including you, you, Erik, but they don't show themselves. Why is this? You don't have the password. Abort, denied.
No, you're not on my list. No. He's saying no. It is really because there is a fear that we won't show up.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Simple as that. It's simple as that.
What's the difference or similarity between astral projection and lucid dreaming?
Well, that's a good question.
Yeah.
He says there's not that much difference. When it comes to lucid dreaming, you really have to first go into a dream state in order to then get into your deep sleep. So you go through your REM, you go into your deep sleep, and once you get into your deep sleep, then you can, have a lucid dream. Then you really are aware of what's going on, or you're in control, where you say, I don't like this dream, I'm out of here. I'm cutting this dream short. When it comes to astral projection, it really starts from a phase of meditation, where you never go into the sleep mode. But what happens is, when we go into a deep meditative state, the body falls asleep, but the consciousness is always awake. And so what happens then is, because the consciousness is awake, it can choose to leave its body and to go and visit other realms. That is the difference.
Well, what is a good technique, a simple technique to astral project? I've heard that you go into meditation, you pretend like you don't use your hands or anything, but you pretend like you're pulling on this rope to pull your body your soul out of your body. I don't know.
It really is. It depends from person to person. I think what's important to remember is that when you do want to astral project, that you have to, for a while, really ignore the body. Because when the body starts to fall asleep, but the mind, the consciousness is awake, your body will start twitching, you'll get an itch, you'll get something because the body's like, are you asleep?
Or vibrations.
Hey,
I'll feel this
you know,
buzzing bzzz, as soon as my
or you
body
get
is
a
about to,
buzzing,
yeah,
and it's
and my
very,
body's
very
about to go, but then I think, oh my God, my body's buzzing, and snap, back I go.
Yeah, but he says it's very important not to respond to the body, and really you have to ignore the itching and the and the tickling and whatever it is that you feel. So you have to really lay completely still and really allow the body to go into sleep mode, and that's really the hardest thing. Now, how you get out of your body, my biggest advice is use visualization. Like you said, you can visualize yourself pulling out, or you can just visualize standing next to your body looking at it.
Oh,
You know, whatever it is, if you want to visualize that your angel or your deceased loved one is right there and that they're handing a hand to pull you out,
oh, that's a
that
good
is
one.
also. But the biggest part is visualization. Really visualize yourself, and so it will be.
Well, it's so
Because
hard
don't
to not
forget,
pay.
he says, don't forget, when we get into that state, it is the mind that controls everything from then on. So it is your mind who tells you where to go, where you're going, who you're seeing.
But it's so hard to. I mean, if I get that buzzing feeling, it's like saying, "Don't think about a pink elephant." My mind is going, "Oh, I'm
It's
buzzing."
not
It's like it's really hard. How do you do? Do you concentrate on just trying to pay attention to your breathing, or is that even a problem?
Yes, or you can use music in your ears to just focus on that. It's
Okay.
basically taking one focus point and
Okay.
just keeping your focus on that and allowing your body to fall asleep. And once you'll feel it. It's almost like you'll become lighter. When you become lighter, then you can say, okay, and now I'm standing next to my body, or now
Okay.
I'm getting out.
Okay.
Yep.
So,
But it ain't easy.
can you
Exactly.
actually see past lives in a dream or other lives? Because there's future and past at the same time, and so are some of these lucid dreams other lives we're living? Well, those are two
In
separate questions.
in your lucid dreams, you can visit anything you want. You want to see who you were in that lifetime, or you want to see that. Absolutely. Your lucid
Okay.
dreams, you can go anywhere you want. However, a lot of people do have dreams that seem very real. And Emmanuel is one of those. I'm really good at connecting to other lives. Um, and basically, I've been murdered in so many ways. I always connect. My dreams are always nightmares. I don't really have good dreams. I always have nightmares, and I always connect to the trauma points in my life, in my other lives, because the energy is so intense at that moment that while I'm sleeping, I'm connecting, and I basically, I feel like it's me, but when I look at myself, I look completely different. There is a new
Yeah.
person standing in front of me. So
Right.
whenever you get those dreams, what is happening is you are connecting to an energy that is connected to you through your higher self. And it'll usually be very intense emotions. That could be extreme joy too.
Okay.
But a lot of times it's going to be, unfortunately, not so positive experiences that you're connecting to through your higher self.
Okay. How can you tell what type of dreams you're having? Is if it's a prophetic dream, like predicted with the future, an experience from another life or reality, or the reflection of your current vibrational reality? That's pretty good.
That's a good question.
Hmm.
We got good questions, people. He's going, that
Yeah,
is a
my
really
people are
hard one.
awesome.
And I know people are not going to like the answer he says, but the only thing I can say on that is really following your feelings.
It's intuition.
If you have a dream and it feels like you, but it doesn't look like you, or you're not familiar in any way, but it really feels like it's you, then you're connecting to another life. But if it's, let's say it's a really bad dream, but it's you. you see yourself as you, or you feel yourself as your normal you, and you see people that you recognize, because you do have dreams where people seem completely strangers, but here and there you'll recognize certain things from your current life. Whenever you have that, it'll always be a message from what is going on with you at this moment. Okay. But whether or not it is a lesson, I would always recommend writing everything down. When you keep a dream journal, okay, and when you see different dreams in that week, for instance, that all seem to be connected in some way or form, then for sure there is a message there. For sure they're trying, your higher self is trying to connect to you and trying to tell you something. If all the dreams are going in completely different directions, then a lot of times it's going to be your own fears and your own anxieties. But again, we can learn from that too. Why do I have such fearful dreams? Sure. Why are all my dreams like this? That is because you're off track. There's something that going on in your life that is not resonating with you at this moment.
So basically, that's probably the best way to remember dreams, is to write down as soon as you wake up.
As soon as you wake up,
it goes away.
As soon as you put your focus on something else, they're gone.
I know. Okay, here's another one. I'm curious, what is going on when you have a dream about a celebrity or someone famous, and the dream is so full of deep emotion, usually some form of love. When you wake up, it feels so real, but then it is so sad because it was, well, a dream. You feel this connection to that person that you don't even know you exist, but they don't even know you exist. What is that about? Maybe another life with that celebrity, or?
Yes, it could be that this might be a past life that you've had with that entity. Or yes, a lot of people don't realize that what we would call celebrities are guides to everyday people. So over here, we're no longer the celebrity.
I know.
We are everyone and everything. We're all just one. So it is possible that Freddie Mercury will come into your dream and help you with music choices, for instance. Okay. Or if you're into science, that you have Albert Einstein coming in and talking to you. Okay. But again, it could also be a past life connection to that person.
Okay, why do we forget them so quickly, just minutes after we wake up?
Because it is all stored into the subconscious.
Okay.
And as soon as we wake up, the conscious mind gets reactivated, and so the connection with the subconscious mind subsides.
Okay. What goes on spiritually when you have sleep paralysis? To me, I feel like, well, you're kind of out of your body, so your spirit's not controlling some arms or legs and stuff.
I've never had that, so I really don't know what that feels like.
I feel like my arm is just like a piece of wood. It's weird.
Like,
yeah.
Move it.
No, it's true.
All right, Erik. Sleep paralysis. He's just showing me how he's like, hello, how are you?
Oh, yeah, really. Oh, that's funny.
He's just flinging his arms back and forth. No, yeah, what you're saying, Mom, is basically in order for you to reconnect to the body, you need to really be fully in it. And when you're just kind of half-assing it, he says, then the body is not fully connected to the brain yet, or the mind is not fully connected to the brain, so part of the body's parts aren't fully active yet.
All right, what about people who sleepwalk? I mean, I remember Lucas used to wake up. When they were little, sometimes he went to sleep next to us, so we'd have a little cot. And he would wake up and get on my treadmill by my bed, which is very rarely used, and start whipping it out and almost pee. It's like, ah!
When I was a kid, I was a very big sleepwalker, and I remember my mom telling me a story. I was about 6, and I came down and I got scissors. Mm-hmm. And my mom's like, where are you going with those scissors? And I said, I had to go cut open my hot water bottle that was in my bed.
Okay, that's weird.
He says when it comes to sleepwalking, what that is you're still in the REM sleep. So your spirit hasn't fully left the body yet. But okay. The REM is in such an intense dream that the body will cooperate with the dream, because the body can't tell the difference what is real and what is not.
Okay, that's interesting. What about sleep talking? Same thing, probably?
Same thing.
Okay. Is it dream plane? Is there a plane that people occupy dreaming? Or
You
is
mean
it
like
the
different
same?
realms?
Is it the same as the astral plane or the spirit plane? Do we all go to the same place to dream?
We just go into a different vibration. So what happens is you go into whatever your vibration is at that time. You go into a realm that'll resonate with that. So do we all go to one place? No, because really everything is everywhere all at the same time. Let's not have that discussion again. He says, but how? Hmm. Let's just say that we go to the dimensions that have a really, really high vibration.
Okay.
So if you want to call it heaven, if you want to call it um, the fifth, the sixth, the seventh dimension, whatever number you want to give it on, he says. We don't really have numbers. We don't take the elevator to the sixth floor. Uh, but basically you go where spirits are.
Oh, cool.
That's the same
All right. So,
frequency. It's the same vibration. You go home. Let's just say it that way.
yeah.
You go home.
How
The
nice.
body and the mind are always connected to source. So when the body is asleep,
Mm-hmm.
um, it kind of surrenders itself to source as well because it
Okay.
needs the energy, it needs the absorption of the energy. But I got a great. Okay. He's showing me this. This is what he's showing me. This is great. He's a little bit all over the place, but I get what he's trying to say. Okay, so when you're sleeping, this is basically what it is. You are plugging in your electric car into the source, right, which is the battery,
Mm-hmm.
and then you basically open the door and you go for a walk and you go and communicate with source and with everybody who's in
Okay.
that. That's
Cool.
basically what sleeping is all about.
That's awesome. How do you know when you meet, like, what you think is a deceased loved one, if that's really your deceased loved one or if it's some construct you made up?
He says, let me explain that. When a deceased loved one comes into your dreams, they are actually there. They are connecting to you. Okay? Always. However, a lot of people get scared because they will see their deceased loved one in a very negative environment, or they will see their deceased loved one in an environment that does not seem to resonate with that person.
Okay.
Okay? You have people who have nightmares while their deceased father is there trying to say hello. Now, this is what happens. Spirits will come into your dream state to say hello. However, the dream state is determined by your thoughts, by your mental state, by your emotional state.
Sure.
So let's say you're going through a lot of fear and you're desperately, Dad, please come and talk to me, he says. You're desperately trying to get an answer, but you're going through a really bad time in your life. You're into a depression, you're in that very negative state. Then your dream state will be very negative. But your father will try and come in that. Now,
Okay.
the father does not control the dream state, so he actually has to penetrate that negative dream and still try and get
I
the message
see.
through.
I see. Now, how come sometimes we don't see, like, I don't even know if I see faces of people in my dream, or if I just put the faces on them after I'm awake, but why do we sometimes not see faces?
He says you can see him very clearly, and sometimes you don't see him at all. Really, because the faces aren't always important. And so, wherever you put your focus on, your awareness on during your dream, that is where you should put your focus on when you wake up.
So you guys who don't see faces, you're probably focusing on their package.
That means that it's not
You did not get that. You did not get
it's
that.
not per se about the person, but it's about the story, or
Okay.
it's about the emotions that are going on at that moment.
Okay. Let's see. How can you tell wait, no. What are nightmares? And I guess, and are there dreams of symbolism from our subconscious? So nightmares, well, they're probably our anxieties and fears and all the things we've been talking about already.
Nightmares can be connecting to a past life, a traumatic event, or they are an accumulation of built up fear, anxiety, negative energy, all that low vibrational shit, he says.
Okay. Now,
When it comes to the symbolism, it's different for every person. Now, there are people out there who are analyzing dreams and who are saying this might be this might be that. I would say take that with a grain of salt, because it really depends from person to person. You know, if you're seeing, let's say, a big tree for one person, you know, a big, enormous tree, and you don't know what it is, but it's beautiful and it's right there. For one person, that might be something very positive. For another person, that might be something completely negative. So it really depends on you.
Now, does lucid? I got 3 quick questions. Does lucid dreaming have anything to do with DNA activation?
Oh.
And I don't really know what DNA activation is, to tell you the truth.
He's going, no, it has to do with a separation of body and soul.
Okay. Can some dreams predict the future? Did we ever cover this? I don't know.
They can, because again, this is this is you trying to get a message through to you of things that might happen, things to avoid. It can even go into details. It can even go into details, he says, when it comes to future predictions. If you do see something that seems to you, or that feels to you like that seemed like in a few years, or that felt like this was my future that I was seeing, write it down, okay? And you can always ask for more clarification, okay? Don't be afraid to ask your higher self, your spiritual team, your guides, your angels, whoever, hey, I had this dream, and it was very intense, and it was very clear. It was picture perfect clear, because you have dreams that are in detail. When you see those detailed dreams, write them down, okay? There's a reason why they are in detail, because they really want to show you something, okay? If they are blurry, if they're fuzzy, if they seem unclear, then that means that there are very small lessons in there to be learned. But if they are detailed, if they are very clear, and you wake up and you totally remember everything, these are very important dreams, and that might be a premonition that you're having, that might be a warning or a signal of, hey, you need to watch out for this.
Okay. By the way, I know that I do this with my kids when they were little anyway. For example, Michelle, when she had nightmares about sharks. So I said before she went to bed, I told her to imagine the shark all of a sudden having a tutu, like a ballerina, and then you're dancing with him. And so it really cured that. Or we'll say, or Papa, my husband, will take their head, he has magical powers, and suck the bad dreams and stuff in his pocket for recycling later, and that seemed to work too. Anyway,
it's a great thing. But for instance, like people who are afraid, they dream of sharks and they don't even know why they're so afraid of them. That might be a past life. That might be a trauma from another life.
One last question. How can you tell if your dreams are from your higher self versus your guides or others like the collective?
Does it really matter?
It doesn't matter, I guess, because you're still getting that information.
The important thing is, the thing is, we try to put labels on everything. It's from my angel. It's from this. But you know what? We're all a global or a connected consciousness here. We as human beings want to put specific labels on who this message is coming from. But really, it doesn't matter, because when we are connecting to you in a dream state, it will always come from the collective, from the whole.
Okay. That sounds good. Well, that was a good session. I liked it. I learned so much. All right, guys, if you want to connect with Emma, go to www.emmanuelmacintosh.com. I'll put it up here. And also check out www.channelingerik.com. Check out Erik's book, too, My Life After Death. It's a page-turner. And my book, My Son and the Afterlife. I almost forgot the title.
You had to think about that.
My thyroid, I freaking feel like I'm on crack. Don't worry, I don't really know what that feels like. But
she's still in her dream state, he says.
I must be. Okay, bye, Erik. I love you. See you later, Emma. Love you.
Mom.
Bye.
Bye.